introduction only, and we're getting ready to go. Let's go up to Matt Freeman, our announcer, and get our official introductions of this super fight. In a moment, we'll get our official introduction.
For me. Hey, my friend, could you either sit in that gap right there on this side? Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. Oh, you're good.
Event of the 2015 Gracie Nationals. There will be no points. There will be no advantages. Victory will only come by way of submission.
Yeah! Yeah!
Fighting in the red rash guard, 5 feet 10 inches tall, 170 pounds, from South Brunswick, New Jersey. This man is no stranger to submission-only jiu-jitsu. A Metamoris veteran with a Metamoris record of 2-0, with both wins coming by way of submission. A black belt under the legendary Tom the Blast. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Lion Killer, Garry. And his opponent, 5 feet 7 inches tall, 145 pounds, from Rancho Cucamonga, California. A veteran competing in jiu-jitsu for 18 veteran, former WEC veteran, former King of the Cage lightweight champion. This man represents Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, a Carlson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. It's showtime! Javi Vazquez!
Let's go, Javi!
Tale of two demeanors. Garry Tonon very loose, smiling, encouraging the crowd. Javi Vazquez looks like he's going into an MMA fight right now. He's very, almost agitated.
Agitated is a good way to describe him.
Final instructions from our referee, and here we go. Strap in. We might be here for 20 seconds. We might even be here for 2 hours.
I like that referee Matt Baker has the gi pants on in case he's going to have to get in there and mix it up. You never know, right?
That's right. That's right.
What if they yank on him now?
Yeah, well, Rose will stop that.
In all seriousness, both men wearing wristbands. You know, that could add some grip. Obviously need a wristband to get into the tournament. Are you surprised that they didn't remove the wristbands for the actual competition here?
How are they going to get into the after party?
There you go.
There you go. Tie up here on the feet. Eddie, this is a fight that could go on literally all day long, all night long. What are these two men really learning from each other here in the early on moments?
They're kind of, I would think that Javi's just kind of playing it safe in the beginning, and he's got a Kimura. Got a Kimura. I was wrong. I said Javi's playing it safe. He's attacking.
Gary's pretty calm, though. You can see when he gets in danger in his matches, he's pretty chilled. He's pretty calm. He doesn't overreact too much. But Javi's pretty tricky.
In this situation, again, I mean, these guys could be going for an hour from now. you don't want to sell out too much on a submission like this, I would think, Eddie. I mean, Javi, obviously, I think he's lost that grip now, still playing with it. How hard do you want to go for something early to conserve energy and keep that in mind?
That's a good question. You know, Javi's defense is one of his secret weapons. He's so good that he feels comfortable going after submissions like that. Same thing with Garry Tonon. They're very comfortable giving their backs, getting mounted. Javi's got a whole system on side control right here, and we're going to get to see what it's all about. He keeps telling me about this amazing system that he has, and I believe him. I've actually used some of his elements, and bam, there it is.
Nice.
That's exactly what he does.
And that is a classic Gracie Jiu-Jitsu headlock escape right there. That was beautiful.
Little readjustment here. The two men go back to the center of the mat. A lot of space here. Still a final, I believe, going on the other end. Maybe it just wrapped up. I'm not exactly sure. No time limits. These guys got to share the mats a little bit. We see Javi here on top.
Surprised that Javi just kind of sat down and did a not a full butt scoot, but like a half butt scoot. So
Gary's got the lockdown. He's been using electric chairs in his recent fights, and that's what he's going for right here. He likes going electric chair sweep to, in this case, he would go after Javi's left leg if he was able to pull off the electric chair. And Javi's doing a great job of staying low, keeping his knees tight, not letting Garry Tonon get under him.
It's a lot of fun to watch Tonon grapple, especially in his matchup with Marcin Held. I mean, those guys were just a twisted tangle of limbs. Tonon ultimately got a leg lock submission out of that, and that's a feather in his cap to submit a high caliber leg artist like Marcin Held. Now he's on top here of Javi. We'll see if he secures full mount. He's got a knee on belly kind of ride.
So far, no leg attacks. And Javi's been preparing very, very hard for leg locks. And we haven't really seen anything. What we saw right there with Garry Tonon, perhaps a samurai roll. He uses a lot of the 10th planet system, so he locked his legs up for a second, but Javi's very, very familiar with the samurai and a lot of most of the 10th planet attacks.
Nice little reversal of fortunes there by Javi Vazquez in the guard of Garry Tonon.
When you talk about a toolbox, Javi's got a pretty deep toolbox when it comes to the different styles that he's versed in. Carlson Gracie style of jiu-jitsu, the classic Torrance Gracie jiu-jitsu style, 10th planet style. He's pretty well versed when it comes to grappling.
Yes, Javi's leg locks are awesome. Javi's he's got an arm triangle right here, perhaps.
Hard to see from our angle. See it on our monitor.
Javi's got a guillotine for a second. It's going to be very hard. Javi's very good at the back. If he gets on your back, he's very good at setups to get to the back. He's very good at rear naked chokes. One of the best at rear naked chokes. Very good at side control defense, guard recovery, mount escape, back escape. His like I said, his leg locks, his triangles are death. He is very deep in the skill department.
I'm curious how aggressive both of these guys have started out because, they're so talented, they're so smart when it comes to tactics of grappling that it's very, foreseeable that these guys could just stall each other out for one guy to make the first mistake and have it be their last mistake. I think they're pretty aggressive early. Would you agree, Tim?
They are putting it out there. They're not overly aggressive, but they are getting after it. And when I talked to Javi yesterday, one of the things he said, he thought that whoever makes the first mistake is probably going to be the guy that loses today.
Eddie, what are we seeing here? This is a tangled mess.
That mistake might have. Now we're seeing leg attacks. So what Garry Tonon did, he went. It went by so quick. He went omoplata to Javi pulled out of the omoplata. He limp armed out, and in his DNA, Garry went right to leg attack. So it looks like Garry Tonon uses omoplata escapes to go after legs, and he went after Javi's legs. Javi was in trouble for just a second. Javi defended beautifully. Gary's back in the mount now, and expect to see an escape here. Javi's just so good at escaping the mount and side control.
We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the knees of Javi Vazquez. Javi might be a legendary MMA fighter had his knees not failed him earlier in his career. That's something he struggled with. Does that, play any factor in this fight, you think, Tim?
I think it may hinder his wrestling a little bit, but he's been dealing with some knee issues long enough that he's adjusted his style as much as he can to where it shouldn't be too big of a factor.
And now we got Garry Tonon in twister side control here. I think it's called reverse something katami in Japan. But
Kesagatame reverse Kesagatame.
There you go.
It's interesting. We see Javi just flat on his back here,
Looks
not
like
bringing his
there's a key
knees
lock.
up.
He wants Garry to mount him.
There is a key lock attempt that Gary's trying to hit on Javi's right arm right now.
Nice goes into that same side as that key lock. What's the logic here, Eddie?
The logic is he's attacking Javi with anything and everything he can. He can't just rely on his leg locks. He's gotta anything that comes up, he's gotta jump on it. And Javi's defense is just, they have the same style. They give up a lot of position there we go, right there.
Look at that.
Oh, and there's a heel hook.
That's deep. Nope, Tonon gets up. Look deep for a moment.
Now the pacing has changed a little bit here. It's almost like they're allowing each other to try different things and then kind of see where it goes before they get real about it.
You know, it's interesting. People that were coming upon this on Shirdo.com or on YouTube, probably from an MMA base, they may think that BJJ or no-gi grappling at times is boring. It's lackluster. These guys are
Very
really
nice
going
attack.
for it. See Tonon again attacking.
Wow, look at that.
And
They're
now
going
Javi.
after each other. Javi's done his homework. He's done it thoroughly, and he knows when he pulls back for leg locks, it's in his DNA to pull back for those leg locks in those spots. But he's pulling back and then letting go because he knows that Garry Tonon just does not tap to leg locks. Garry Tonon sets up a lockdown from the top half to roll into an electric chair. Javi smelled it out, kept his left butterfly between his legs there. Great defense by Javi so far.
Let's talk about Tonon for a second. He's obviously an active grappler, constantly entering tournaments like Metamoris or super fights like Metamoris and Polaris here, and then another super fight today. He's more conditioned for these types of matches where Javi is training and starting. Do you see? I mean, is there a cardio factor here that?
Right here, he's in trouble. Javi is in trouble right here. He let Garry slip down to his legs, and you see that snap?
Wow.
That is a secret weapon. Javi is just so good at it. It's retracting his legs. The muscles that do that in your legs, whatever they are, I don't know, the inside of the thigh or the muscle strapped around the hip, whatever that muscle is, Javi is super strong with it.
That was slick right there.
He just pulled out his leg.
Yeah, he did.
The guys at highest on go-cars, guys, they just grow up doing that. Retraction. It's pretty insane.
Getting back to my point earlier, as this match goes on, does it benefit one guy more than the other, being that Tonon is a more active, competition grappler where Javi's more of an instructor?
The experience is for real. And you know what? Garry Tonon's trying to transition to spiderweb here. He's got S-mount. He's going to put the deep hook in. Look, he's going to reach back and control Javi's right leg.
I don't think it's as big of a factor as you think it would be.
Sure.
I think Javi is pretty conditioned to these no time limit approach to grappling.
Javi's in trouble right here. This is spiderweb, and Garry, like I said, he pays attention to the 10th planet style, and this is 100% 10th planet. Holding on to that leg, that's such a big difference. Attacking the right arm with your left arm, and he escaped. Again, that retraction. Now he's back on his legs. What's going to happen here? This is Garry Tonon's spot. This is the spot where he does all his damage. Some people call it the saddle. Some people call it 411. We had 10th planet call it the honey hole. But
of course, that's what you would call it.
I didn't name it. Nathan Orchard named it.
All right.
He's the one who brought it into the 10th planet system, although...
And it looks like he's getting... Sorry about that. Setting up a mounted triangle.
Triangle right here. Now he's in trouble. Javi is in trouble here.
Does Javi come up? He does come up.
Let's see what kind of defense Javi has for the triangle here. You gotta have a go.
Oh, that's tight.
That's very tight.
Damn.
Now Javi needs to get up and posture here, or try to circle to his. Would it be his right or his left?
Man, he got him.
He got him.
Garry Tonon victorious over Javi Vazquez.
Wow.
A triangle choke submission comes the way of Tonon.
We did not expect that. That was something no one expected.
I didn't expect it to happen that way. I'm not surprised that Tonon was able to get the victory, but I didn't expect Javi to get triangled.
Yeah.
There he is, your winner, Garry Tonon. Triangle choke submission. A nice feather in his cap.
Excellent match. And what we saw there is all the homework that Javi did on the leg locks really paid off, because Garry never really got anything deep on the legs. But maybe he focused a little too much on the leg locks. I didn't expect the triangle.
That's what's so great about combat sports. You can focus. In MMA, you can focus on a guy's ground game, then all of a sudden he knocks you out. In jiu-jitsu and no-gi grappling too, like.